referees, I mean, not referees, judges, what do I don't know. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but what type of training do judges have to go through in order to be chosen for a fight? Do they like during the fight, do they wear earplugs, or when judges are getting chosen throughout your career, do you know, hey, okay, I'm fighting this guy. I know what these judges like. They like fighters more who fights on the front foot and put the effort in, versus these judges, they pretty much appreciate the sweet science a little bit more and being very defensively sound and stuff like that. Do fighters change their style according to who they know who they know the judges are going to be for the fight? Because you know what certain judges look for and how they're going to score it based on what they see?
Damn right, I did. You'll be a fool not to.
Okay.
I did. You'll be a fool not to do that, because you got to understand that, like, they have preference. They have preference. These judges, like, you understand the rules of how to judge a fight. Of course, you know the knockdowns or whatever, and 1 point goes to the other guy. So like, you 10-point must system. A knockdown happens, now it's a 10-8 round or whatever. Another knockdown happens, it's a 10-7 round. If you're winning the first half of the round and you get knocked down, it's instead of an 8-10 round, it's a 9-10 round, not in your favor, but for the other guy. Like, you understand that, right?
Yeah, I understand.
But then you have effective aggression that goes along with that. Effective aggression. Then you have defense. They also give points for defense. They also look at defense, effective aggression, knockdowns, and it was one more that they always look at. Effective punches. Effective punching. Also another criteria. So what I used to do is I used to go that once I got my judges and I know the judges from, if I'm going to Vegas on a fight and I know the judges that they have and they usually use for big fights, I'll go and I'll go on BoxRec and I'll see how they judge certain fights. I'll look at certain fights, you know what I mean? I know the styles of the guys and I'll see who they favor. Oh, he favors the boxing. Okay, cool. Most of the time when I remember when I was in England, I had a Mexican judge. A Mexican judge, when I fought in England against Junior Witter, I said, you know what? It's a Mexican judge. I got to pressure. Right. I got to pressure. And on the back end of that fight, I pressured. And I ended up winning that fight by 1 point because of the Mexican judge, believe it or not.
Wow.
Because of the Latin judge, I won the fight. And I should have won it by a couple of points or whatever, but because of his style, they like pressure fighters.
Right.
Boom. I'm in there. Pressure fighter. It was weird. It was one time that was weird because I had Julie Letterman. She liked the boxer. I think she had picked what fight was it? Oh man, it was a Bernard Hopkins fight. And he was facing somebody. I forget who it is off the top of the head. And I'm like, and I studied her fight and Bernard won, and it was like somewhat of a controversy. A lot of people didn't think that Bernard won the fight, but she had picked Bernard. And I was like, oh, she likes boxers. Oh, okay. So she judged my fight. I believe it was with Chavez, Diego Chavez. She judged my fight. So I was pressuring a bit, but then I was boxing off the back foot, and I was countering, and and I was lighting them up, bro. I won that fight, no doubt about mine. I won that fight without a doubt. Many people watching thought I won the fight, but the fight ended up being a draw. We get along, Julie Letterman, who likes the boxer, she the one that made it a draw, pretty much. Made it a draw because she didn't give me the rounds that I was boxing. So it's hit and miss, my dude. Sometimes you can nail it, sometimes you don't. But I would tell fighters out there, if you can know your judges, if you win big fights, if you know your judges and you know what type of style that they look for, you should try to do it and implement it in the fight. It will definitely help you.
I remember what you told me. This is the last question before you go. I remember what you told me last time you was on the show. You said that the guy whose name is on the card first is the ASAP. And I noticed that the guy with the Spence Crawford fight, Spence's name is on there first. And I remember when I was in Omaha, I was actually riding, just sitting outside in the parking lot with Bud. Was sat in this thing. I think we was in this car. No, we wasn't in this car. We was outside, and I told him, what is it? I asked him, I said, what is your mindset when you go into a fight? You know, and you know how Bud is. You're like, well, I just take what the fighter gives me. You know what I mean? Read him. He didn't really say much, but he was like, I read him very well. And I pretty much can figure out what is it that they're trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After filling them out a little bit, once I figure out what they're trying to do, then I know what to take away, what I'm gonna be able to take away and stuff like that. Errol Spence is the house fighter. Terence Crawford is not a PBC fighter. He's walking into the Lion's Den, fighting Errol Spence for the first time in Vegas. I think Bud fought in Vegas before, but I don't think Spence has fought in Vegas before. But I could be wrong, but I'm just saying since he's been a headliner and stuff like that. What is the mindset that Crawford must have going into this ring? Because I'm pretty sure, the referees are going to be, they're going to lean probably more towards the A side. PBC event, Showtime event. You got an outsider coming in. What is his mindset? Judges, what is it? What should be his mindset knowing that he's walking into the Lion's Den?
What it always is. What it always is. Knock that motherfucker out. What it always is. Yeah. That's Crawford. That's the difference between Crawford and everybody. It don't matter what round. If he got time, he trying to knock you out. He ain't playing with you.
Yeah.
He ain't finna sit here and dance with you for 12 rounds. If he can knock you out, he gonna knock you out. I remember when he fought against Benavidez, the older brother.
Right.
Not the big one, the younger one. The younger looking one.
Jose.
Yeah.
That's the older one.
He looking for the knockout.
He the one that played. He played in Rocky. I mean, Creed.
Yeah. I mean, he hit him with that uppercut. I think it was 11th or 12th round. He hit him with that uppercut, man, and it was all she wrote.
12th round.
Yeah, 12th round. So he's always looking for the knockout, man. Always. Everybody want to know who he looked at when they said when he was like, "Am I down or up?" You know, he looked at me, right?
No, for real.
Yeah, he looked at me, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He looked at me. Everybody saying, "Oh, who he looking at? Who he looking at?" No, he looked at me and he said, "Am I up?" I said, you ain't up. I was like, "Shit, hey, Charles Porter doing his thing."
Yeah, he said, how? You know what I mean? I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, how?
Yeah. So
how? I said, I just looked at him like this. I said, I put my finger down like this, like, facing down. You know how you put thumbs up? I put it down like that. I said, you down, dog. You down. And he came out, man, and brick, and it was all over, bro. It was all over. He turned it up.
Man.
Unreal. But it was me.
I didn't know that because
he looked at me.
Because he was looking around in the corner and Bomac was like, Bud, pay attention, Bud, pay attention. And then Saul was like, yeah, you're down. They say you're down. He said, how? Then he looked around. So when he was looking around, he was looking at you. I was trying to figure out what he was looking at because he wasn't looking at his trainers when he looked around.
No, he looked at me. He looked at me. Man, look, all these fighters, it's crazy, man, because all these fighters look at me, bro. I don't know why, but they all look at me. And all I do is I look at them like, I just put my eyes open like this. And Bud that time, he was the only one that asked me, like, am I up or down like that? And I'm like, shit, you down. Yeah. You want to know? You down, bro. And he just turns it up. A lot of these fighters, they look over at me because I'm looking at them. I'm looking at their eyes. I'm looking at their demeanor. I'm looking at both corners. I'm going back and forth. I'm looking at the other corner, and I'm like, okay, what is he doing? All right, got his arms up on the ropes. Nah, he looking a bit tired, because I got to observe. But it was crazy to me when Crawford looked over at me, and the first time he's ever done that, first time, he just said, man, he looked at me, and I said, huh? He said, I'm up. And I was like, I read his mouth. I said, no, you down. You down on the scorecard, buddy. And after that, it was a wrap. It was a wrap after that.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.